Look at Daniel. Every day he gets more handsome. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, big lady. Is everything all right?
Yes, he still went to work.
Yes, she went to work this morning around 6:04.
Oh, are you the only one at home?
Big lady, is everything all right?
I just came over to talk to you for a little while. Most young men are rude and miserable. Not all, but you're different. You're well built. Oh, I just meant you look healthy.
Very healthy, huh?
How long have you and Tiwa been together?
Almost 3 years.
3 years? Wow, time flies. That long and you're still sure about her?
Of course. Why do you ask?
No reason. I just feel like some young women don't appreciate a good man.
Tiwa appreciates me.
If you say so. Well, if you ever need a mature woman.
Sorry?
I'm serious. I know how to cook, wash clothes and take care of a man.
Big lady, what? You're joking, right?
Who said I was joking?
Wait, you're serious? No way.
Why not?
Because I have a girlfriend.
Girlfriends can change.
Not mine.
Daniel, you're still young.
Exactly. And you're old enough to be my mother.
Daniel, are you saying I'm old?
I'm saying you're old enough to be my mother. And I love Tiwa.
What does she have that I don't?
I love her. It's as simple as that.
You really love her that much?
With all my heart.
No disrespect, I understand at all. Enjoy your tea.
Thanks.
Tiwa will see about that. Good evening, big lady. Come in. I need to tell you something. What happened? Well, I don't know if I should tell you. Just tell me. I really don't want to get involved. You're starting to scare me. If I were you, a pretty young woman came over to Daniel's today. Believe whatever you want. I was watering my flowers when she walked straight into his yard. Maybe a friend? I don't know her. Maybe she's family. Are you sure? I saw it with my own eyes. Daniel never mentioned anyone coming. They sat on the veranda laughing and talking. I can't believe this. He always tells me everything. Some men tell every woman the same thing. Why would Daniel do that? Maybe he got tired.
Subscribe to our channel and watch out what happened to Tiwa. Big lady walked up to Tiwa. She told Tiwa that people never believe someone is cheating until they are caught red-handed. Tiwa did not know what to think. Big lady said she was sorry to be the one to break the news and told Tiwa she should ask Daniel herself. Tiwa agreed. She would watch closely and see how he answered, because in her mind, guilty people always grew nervous under pressure. Big lady insisted she was only looking out for her. Tiwa thanked her, not yet realizing how much damage those words are. That evening, Tiwa confronted Daniel. She asked if a woman come to his house when she was not around. Daniel, confused, asked what woman she meant. Tiwa explained that big lady claimed to have seen a pretty young woman enter this compound to visit you. Daniel denied it flatly, calling it a lie. Tiwa pressed harder, repeating big lady's claim that she'd seen them laughing together on the veranda. Daniel insisted no one had been here and that big lady had invented the entire story. Tiwa could not understand why anyone would lie about something so specific. Daniel reminded her that people can sound convincing even when every word is false. Back and forth they went, Tiwa demanding the truth, Daniel swearing his innocence, Tiwa asking him to look her in the eyes and promise. He swore he was telling the truth. Still, Daniel could see the doubt lingering in her expression, and it wounded him that a stranger's story could shake her trust in him so easily. The next day, at Daniel's workplace, a coworker approached him about adjusting the schedule, a perfectly ordinary exchange. But from a distance, big lady watched, already deciding what story she would tell Tiwa. Convinced she had caught him in the act again, she rushed off to find Tiwa. Big lady told Tiwa that Daniel was downtown with another woman, laughing and talking as though nothing was wrong. Tiwa's frustration boiled over. When she confronted Daniel again, he explained calmly that the woman was simply his coworker. Tiwa wasn't sure she could believe that anymore, not with big lady's stories piling up. Daniel, growing tired of constantly defending himself, told her that someone was lying, and that the truth always finds its way out eventually. At work, Daniel's boss noticed the toll all of this was taking on him. Daniel admitted he was exhausted. Every day Tiwa always come with deferred argument, sparked by some fresh accusation. Daniel boss asked a simple but pointed question: why did Tiwa always seem to have a new story every day? Without thinking, that was obvious who kept feeding her with those fake stories. Daniel unloaded his frustration to his boss: another woman, a mysterious phone call, another sighting, one accusation after another, each one chipping away at his relationship. His boss pointed out something Daniel hadn't fully considered: every single conflict between him and Tiwa began right after Big Lady brought her a new story. Every argument, every misunderstanding, every accusation traced back to the same source. Daniel realized it was too consistent to be coincidence. His boss asked whether Big Lady had ever behaved strangely toward him, perhaps overly friendly. Daniel hesitated, admitting there was something he had never told anyone. His boss asked him to speak. Daniel recalled a morning when Big Lady came by while Daniel was in the guide. Tiwa was at work. She had showered him with compliments, calling him handsome, well-built, respectful, different from other men. At first he thought nothing more. But then she told him that if he ever wanted a mature woman, she was available. Daniel had been stunned. He told her plainly that he loved Tiwa, and watched her expression angry instantly before she walked away without another word. His boss listened closely, then offered a theory Daniel hadn't considered: that Big Lady's feelings for him run deeper than anyone realized. The boss laid out the pattern plainly. Daniel wanted to confront her immediately, but his boss Moses urged patience. Confronting her now would not work, she would deny everything. What they needed first was proof. Together, they made a plan, a trap designed to catch Big Lady in the act of inventing another lie. His boss, Moses, offered to handle the details, promising that by the next day, Big Lady would expose herself with her own mouth. The two men positioned themselves where Big Lady would be sure to overhear, watching for the twitch of a curtain. Once certain she was listening, Daniel raised his voice deliberately, announcing to Moses that he had finally made up his mind. He was heading to Lagos the next day to spend the whole weekend with a secret girlfriend that nobody, especially not Tiwa, knew about. Moses played along, asking questions, expressing surprise, and promising to keep the secret. Daniel insisted he had kept the relationship hidden from everyone, and Moses assured him his trust was safe. Big Lady, hidden behind her curtain, soaked in every fabricated word, utterly convinced she had finally caught Daniel red-handed. She rushed off, certain of her own righteousness, unaware she had walked straight into the trap. Big Lady arrived at Tiwa's door, breathless with fabricated concern, urging her to brace herself for terrible news. She claimed to have heard Daniel with her own ears announcing plans to spend the weekend in Lagos with a secret girlfriend. She pretended to sympathize with Tiwa, expecting her to be heartbroken. Tiwa was supposed to be heartbroken, until she noticed Tiwa was smiling instead of crying. Tiwa revealed that Daniel and Dwayne were both inside the house at that very moment, and had been here for almost an hour. Daniel and his boss Dwayne stepped forward. Daniel asked Big Lady to repeat the story about the secret girlfriend for everyone to hear. Flustered, she stammered that maybe she had heard wrong. Daniel pressed further: heard wrong, or invented the whole thing herself. He revealed that the entire conversation had been staged just 10 minutes earlier, designed specifically to test whether she would spread yet another lie. A neighbor arrived, drawn by the commotion, and Tiwa insisted everyone stay to hear the truth unfold. She recounted how every single argument between her and Daniel had started with one of Big Lady's stories: a woman here, a phone call there, endless fabrications. Big Lady weakly offered that maybe she had simply misunderstood. Tiwa reminded her that Daniel had never even mentioned Lagos until that very morning. The entire conversation had been invented from nothing, and yet she had run straight to spread it as fact. Tiwa asked her directly whether she had truly been looking out for her, or trying to tear them apart. Big Lady insisted she never meant to hurt anyone. Tiwa asked why, then, she had never simply come and asked her first. One by one, more neighbors stepped forward with their own stories. Someone recalled Big Lady claiming that Precious's son had won the lottery, a complete fabrication, since he had never even bought a ticket. Another neighbor recalled being told she was moving abroad, despite not owning a passport. The crowd's laugh turned uneasy as the pattern became undeniable. The neighbors reminded Big Lady that she had nearly destroyed the relationship between two young people who loved each other, and that everyone had long known she loved to gossip, but today, finally, she had been caught. Pressed by the crowd to finally tell the truth, Big Lady's resistance crumbled. She confessed that she liked Daniel for years, since he was 19 years old, watching him grow more handsome, more respectful, and more responsible with each passing year. She admitted she couldn't help how she felt. Tiwa, stunned, asked her to confirm it all, that she had wanted Daniel for herself, that every lie, every rumor, every fabricated sighting had been born from that same jealousy. Big Lady admitted to everything. Tiwa spoke of the trust she had placed in Big Lady, trust that had been weaponized against her own relationship. She had never imagined it would go this far. Daniel spoke as well, recalling all the small kindnesses he had shown her over the years, carrying her groceries, cutting her grass, fixing her leaking pipe, always treating her with respect. And everything through, she had been quietly working to tear apart a relationship he and Tiwa had spent 3 years building, 3 years nearly undone by a web of lies. Big Lady, finally without defenses, admitted her wrongdoing. She confessed to being consumed by jealousy, watching the love between Tiwa and Daniel and wishing for something like it in her own life. Instead of confronting her own loneliness, she had tried to destroy someone else's happiness. She acknowledged that being lonely, however painful, never justified hurting others, and that she had finally learned the truth always surfaces in the end, no matter how long it is hidden. In the quiet that followed, Tiwa admitted to Daniel how many nights she had spent crying, questioning everything, nearly walking away from the best man she had ever known. Daniel confessed he had never understood why her trust in him had crumbled so suddenly. Tiwa, ashamed, said she should have trusted him from the very beginning. Together, they agreed they had both learned something valuable, and vowed never to let anyone come between them again. Turning to Big Lady one final time, Daniel offered her the only path toward making things right, to stop spreading gossip, to stop interfering in the lives of others, to stop chasing after younger men, and to finally start minding her own business. It was, he said, the best advice anyone could give her that day. And as the crowd slowly dispersed, the lesson lingered in the air: trust broken by lies can only be rebuilt by truth, however long it takes to arrive.